Hey, how's it going? I haven't done a video in a while. You probably know why, if you follow me on Patreon or whatever. Anyways, I wanted to talk about some pens. So these are, this is one company. This is called a company called Ohto, or OHTO. And just for reference, let's see, what's a normal size pen? Let's see. So this is also an Ohto, and that's a normal size pen, right? This is my hand, and my hand, I actually have a fairly big hand. But so this is fairly comfortable. But these are small pens that I like. And Ohto tends to make small pens that I like the most, actually. This is, it's worn off, but it's called the Slimline. And you can find it on Jet Pens, although I don't know if this color is available right now. This pen is the Pettit-B. I don't know if I'll read. But anyways, the Pettit-B, and this works is you have to pull it apart, and my hands are sweaty, so I can't do it. There we go. So basically, it comes apart, and then you flip it around, and then you have something that resembles a pen. And this is actually the pen that I carry with me all the time, with my small kind of gray sketchbook from Stillman and Byrne. It's in my pocket. Obviously it's in there, and the tip is protected. It's very good for that. And then this is my newest acquisition. This is the Minimo, also from Ohto, and it's ridiculously small. But I bought it because I like small pens. It's just something that I like. And these are all ballpoints, by the way, just to make that clear. And I think all of these are 0.5. You'll see like measurements and stuff online. Most pens, like let's say if you steal a pen from a bank or something, that'll be probably a 0.7. And they might go up to like 0.9, but the ones that I tend to use the most are 0.5s. There's also a 0.3 though, and you can get like refills for like, I think for the Slimline you could get a 0.3, but it gets so small that you need basically really slick paper, or really smooth paper, to have it work. So I tend to go for 0.5s because I can still get a lot of variation in line. And yeah, so this is my main sketching pen. I usually have this also in a sketchbook, but more like one of these, like a tone tan, like 5x8 kind of sketchbook. And it's just very good for quick sketching. By the way, I'm using weird paper right now. I don't know why I chose this paper, but I figured I'd try it out right now. It's Claire Fontaine, who actually makes really good notebooks, but they made this toned paper, which is kind of interesting. I saw it and I felt I wanted to try it out. So, but I don't know. It has a little tooth to it, so this might not be the ideal surface for a ballpoint this small. Yeah, it seems a little bit. It's jumping over the surface a little bit. Let's just go to Tone Tan. So Tone Tan is fairly MRSA first. It's fairly smooth. But let's see. So yeah, so a little bit better. Let's see here. Let's try to stay in somewhat the middle. But you get a lot of variation in line. And this one actually might be, is this almost empty? Yeah, so this one's almost empty. I need to actually get a refill for it. Might have a refill. I tend to buy refills and for a pen I like. But anyway, so this is it's very good for sketching. But so is this one, and it's kind of interesting. It might be the same ink. This one's a little more, looks like it's more full, so it's doing better. But you can get a lot of variation if you want. You know, you can get like really light if you want. So it's great for shading. Obviously cross-hatching, because I mean that's basically how you use a ballpoint. You don't have a lot. You can't. I mean, you can smear it a little bit, and you can actually do more interesting stuff with it if you like want to use some sort of solvents, which you can, but you need like a paper that can handle it. I tend to use it just for sketching mostly though, but I'll often do like a light underdrawing, you know, like I'll do like a really light drawing and then actually do like a finished drawing over it eventually. If I like the drawing enough, I'm like not gonna waste time like transferring it or something. If the idea is just to like, you know, like there's a joke or something that I want to do. Let's see here, but and then yeah, it's mostly a matter of like how careful you are, because pens this small, like I can still go quite dark if I want, you know, like if I want to really like do like a dark background I can, but you got to take care. You can't just like be willy-nilly about it. I don't know who Willie is. Probably a pothead of some sort with a guitar. But anyways, so that's mostly, you know, like you can get quite dark, or, you know, if you want to like actually shade, you can get like pretty careful with it and feather very lightly. Yeah, like I don't even know if the camera is picking up how. Let's see, can I zoom in? So it's very light. It can be, anyways. It's basically, it's all about pressure, and also with pens this small, you want to be really careful about clamping down, because the instinct is to be like, oh, it's so small, I better like grip it hard. But really, you want to kind of hold it loosely and just let it sit in your hand, because it's like most of the weight, you know, just let the pen like fall on the paper and it'll do its thing, you know. If you want darker, obviously press harder, but it's like, it's not this pressure, it's like this, so you can just press from the top and it's like, you know, and also you can throw it or pull it, you know, whatever works for you. I just like these pens because they're fairly clean. Like they don't, I don't have to clean, because like all ballpoint pens leak a little bit. Like they'll just develop and that's what you get, like little things like that if you see it in drawings and stuff with ballpoints. But these pens don't do that very much, and if you just take care to like every once in a while just clean the tip, they're really good for sketching. They're like really, like, these are my favorite pens actually. If I'm doing like a life drawing, this is what I like to use, and then just go in with like a white pencil or something. And let's see, this one is ridiculously small. This is kind of a thing that I would probably carry with me like in a wallet or something, where it's not going to take up a lot of space, but it's the same kind of thing. It's very, and this, now this also looks like a 0.5, and yeah, because a 0.3 is just like very, very, like you can't get this dark with a 0.3. It just, there's not enough coming out of the pen basically to do that. But if you want to, I think a 0.3 is probably best for like tiny writing if you want to do that kind of stuff. But yeah, I really like these pens. Ohto does like a really good job of, especially with these little pens. Like I have, like I showed what is this, the G barrel. It's fine, and I think it's and I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. Like I think it's probably the same ink again. It's very dark, and I just don't. Maybe it's just the feel in the hands kind of thing. Maybe this is just not my favorite like surface to hold. Like that's actually like a thing that people don't think about that much, but it's one of the things that makes certain things very appealing. How something feels in your hand. So there's certain pens I like more just because of the way they sit in my hand, the way that like, what am I touching? Am I touching a cold metal, which is what this is? This is metal. Or this is plastic, but it's weirdly very light, and doesn't like, there's ridges on it, like it's a sleechy pentel sleechy, but it's not, it doesn't cut into my hand or something. It doesn't feel like it's like being ground in there, and a large part of it is just the way I hold the pens. But like this is like Evan's favorite pen, and this one's fairly actually comfortable too. It's obviously bigger. Let's see here. And this looks like, so you can see kind of the difference. Like this is, let's compare the tips here. So this is probably, this might be a 7, or even a 9. Whereas this is a 5, right? So the ball, basically the hole in the ball is smaller. The only time I can get away with saying ball and hole together. So anyways, yeah, if you're looking for a small like travel pen, these are the ones I recommend. I mean, this might be too small for most things. It's I don't know. I haven't yet figured out how much I'm going to use it. We'll see. I think I'm going to keep it in my wallet and just see how often I bring it out. It might be just like there, like just in case. This is a very good pen, though it is, like I said, it's a little bit tough if your hands get sweaty or something to get it open. But the seal is nice. It's actually works fairly well. This movement, it does move a little bit, but not too much. It's not bad. Like, once you like get it in your hand, it's like good. This is like one of my favorites, and then so is this. And so these are very good, like slim and very small pens to use. And yeah, the surface is, I mean, it's like aluminum or something, but it feels very, very nice and not cheap, which is another thing that like might be the problem with this pen. It kind of feels a little cheap, weirdly enough, even though it's probably more expensive. I don't know if this, oh yeah, by the way, that's like that sound? Yeah? It's one of my favorite sounds. I like that. Wait, hold on. Try one more time. Yeah. This one I didn't see on jet pens anymore, so they might be out right now, but you can probably find it on eBay, or I don't want to advertise Prime. Fucking Amazon, man. Anyways, yeah, so these are my recommendations for small pens if you're ever looking for one. They're all basically the same ink, the same kind of thickness of line. It just depends on which one you like in your hand and what you need it for. But like travel pens, they're great. So yeah, and they will work even better on like a smoother paper, like a Clairefontaine or like Rhodia, like notebook paper. These are just, going to be like champions. Anyways, that's it. Bye.